Okay, how can I start really? Well, I always wanted to be an artist. I always was an artist. I can honestly say that from the age of naught. I think I always felt that I was an artist in some form. And I was born in South Norwood. I live in Liverpool now. It's funny meeting back when I was born, but actually I was born in Croydon. And I lived in South Norwood for many years. That's 30 years, I would say. And I went to Ingram Road Secondary Modern School for boys. Nothing too tremendous about that. But it was there when I really got even more of a liking to make art. I had a marvellous art teacher. He was absolutely great. When you're at school, you remember teachers. You do remember them. Some you actually hate, so they're useless. Some you actually, think, okay, they were the best that's happened to me. And I think, one of the art teachers I had, he was absolutely brilliant. He was absolutely really giving me so much encouragement. And I was okay at other subjects, really, but not that brilliant, to be honest. I think I got kicked out of maths, if I can remember rightly, because I didn't have a head for it. Although now I could deal with that much more in a visual way. I think, because we all think in different ways, don't we? We're not good at everything. You don't have to be good at everything, why should you? Anyway, I always wanted to be an artist and I wanted to go to art school, but unfortunately, due to parental difficulties at the time, when I was about 15, 16, didn't have the money to go. So I didn't go to art school. Not till much later. I got a job working for a clothes shop called Mossbros, known as Moss now, and they were in Covent Garden. And I got a job in the studio, the window dressing studio there, and we did the most, fairly mundane, stuff all to go in the windows, silk screening, signs, notices, tickets, and dressing some of the models. And it didn't appeal to me. I was bored, silly, didn't like it. And then a couple of years, but I studied for about a year or two. And then a job came up. My next door neighbour actually used to work as a clerk for a meat market in Croydon Meat Market. And there was an opportunity for a young man to actually go there and learn about the meat trade, selling and all about carcasses and things. It sounds really bizarre. And I thought, well, okay, then I'm bored silly with this job, so I went to that job. And I hated that even more. It was, totally, but it was interesting. I've been one of these people that kind of stick at things, whether I like it or not. And it's taken me a while to find out what I really do want to do. Anyway, I stuck at this job. All through these years, remember, I am still drawing, I am still painting, I am going to evening classes, I am still studying independently. And I remember actually buying a pig's head in the market and putting it on the back of my bicycle and riding home with it so I could draw it. I was 18. And it's bloody pig's head on the back of my bike. It's a terrible thing to do when you think about it. But anyway, that's why I've still got the picture at home. And it's done in crayon, wax crayon, caught up in layers. And I did, and then I started to get a bit restless and wanted to travel, so I did a bit of travelling around the world really. I went to Greece, saved up enough money, went to Greece, Turkey and around there, then came back and I got a job in a warehouse. I did all sorts of things. Then I went to India for a bit, and all that, in my early 20s. And I still never really came, really hit on what I wanted to do. And I came back and I did some painting and decorating for a hotel. I told them that I could paint and decorate. They believed me, and I believed that I could. But I put the wallpaper upside down in one place, and I didn't really, that didn't go down too well. But anyway, I managed it. And then I got into carpentry and joinery, and I realised I really was a maker of things. I was a maker. As I say, during all this time, I was continually drawing, I was continually painting. And I worked on the buildings, you know, for about 12 years, you know, actually doing joinery work, carpentry work, and I got a contract for Claridge's Hotel, doing some very fine joinery work. But all this time, there's this dissatisfaction in me saying, I'm not really happy doing this. Joinery is fine, but it's too tight, there's too many straight lines, I'm not doing what I want. And I'm still drawing and things and so on. And one day, I decided to do an evening class. It was down at Ashburton. It was known as Ashburton School then. I don't know what it's known as now. It was Ashburton School, and there was an evening class in wood carving. And I loved it. I thought, this is special. You know, this is absolutely, you know, spot on. This, I can do what I want. And I started to learn to carve. And the teacher that we had, he was the head wood carver at St Paul's Cathedral. Very fortunate about that. But he was very traditional. And he used to do all the renovation work in St Paul's Cathedral. And he took us around there. And all these wonderful sculptures by Grimlin Gibbons and things, you know, all in lye wood and weathered and worn. You know, he used to stare at me and thought, yes, it's very, very skillful, this, isn't it wonderful? And I thought, you know, art was all about skill. And it's not, I've discovered since, it's not just about skill. It's about your whole thoughts about it, it's about what you put into it. And during this time when I was working you know, working at the, you know, doing my evening class and doing a bit of joinery and things like that, I discovered that I'd like to do this full time.